Welcome to Conversations with Regina. I'm Regina, and you are you. So welcome. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be back after taking a week off. And oh geez, I think I needed that. I almost didn't come on today. And then yesterday, I got a call from my internet provider because one of the internet providers here in this town disappeared and kind of left a lot of folks hanging. And so this other place that I use is really swamped right now. And they have been really bad with service here lately. And so, we got a really amazing show today. We're going to change the format up a little bit. But first, let's take care of some business. Let's talk about my channel. This is Conversations with Regina. Be sure and like the videos and subscribe and ring that bell and be notified. And because we're going to be doing some different things. Me and Bethany have been working on something, and it's not going to be a live stream, but it's going to be interesting. I'll guarantee you that. So it's something to look forward to. And anyway, would appreciate all the likes and subscriptions that we can get. Life is short, but we're here to have fun. And the other thing is like Ray's Roast Coffee, www.raysroast, REYSROAST.com. And they are the ones who pay for everything around here. I am the proprietress, and I can make it be very difficult to do this without Ray's Roast. So anyway, let's get on. I've decided to change the format a little bit, and we're going to have a couple of permanent guests or co-hosts, or however you want to say it. And there are folks that have been guests on here before. And, I'm really looking forward to doing this. I just love these two. And so, first off, let me bring on the first jewel of this triara. Catch how I said not tiara, but triara, as in three of us, the three jewels. And let me introduce my good friend, Lara. And here she is. And so how you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing really good here.
Good.
I've just been out in the backyard trying to build a shed.
I saw where you had more pieces than you had.
Yeah. It's like a million pieces. Those ones you can get, like they should be easy, but the instruction book is a book. The instructions is a book, like to put it together, and wow. But I'm getting there. It's a nice break to come here and come on with you and have a conversation and chat. I'm really looking forward to where you're going to take this today.
Well, I'm looking forward to where we're going to take it today too. I won't be able to do it by myself, and
I just have to say I was really happy when you kind of messaged me yesterday and shot the idea out that you, me, and can I say who the other person's going to be?
Well, I was going to keep it as a big surprise, but I mean, we probably already figured out that.
No, I didn't say who though.
Yeah. So the third jewel of our.
Yeah, who's the third jewel?
Huh?
Hey?
Well, you're one jewel. I'm the second jewel. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm rating myself up there with the jewels of the world.
We're all
And
we're all jewels. Yep.
yeah,
We're all
yeah,
special.
absolutely. And so we'll get to her when she gets back.
Okay. So
But
I just want to say hello to everybody in the chats. I got the comments up and I can see. So
oh my
have
gosh,
you said hello to anybody yet?
I have not said
Oh,
hello
whoa.
to anybody yet. So I see Christy there and Jessica. And my friend JJ is there, and Jessica Dean, and Casey's there somewhere. Oh, and I'm sure there's others. And Beeble is there. Hi, Beeble. Good to see you today. And Toby.
Some of your guests in the chats, I don't think I've met all of them. There's a couple new ones. I haven't been on for a few weeks or been like even
Well, you've been really conspicuous in your absence, and my
I,
feelings have just been crushed. You
oh
know,
no, well I've been just really busy taking care of my daughter. So I've
I
just been
always,
really
I always kind
preoccupied
of figure
with
that.
that.
How's she doing?
Well, she's doing good. She's finished her chemotherapies and that was the toughest thing. And now she's gonna start on. She started on Monday on radiation. So
Oh,
yeah, but she's
as
doing good.
always.
Yes,
So you've been pretty busy with drum circles and doing a lot of that too.
I have. There's a couple of local groups that kind of amalgamated, and they have once a week. So I join them. And there's another one that's based out of Detroit that is a great circle of sisters and Uh, I drum with them. They drum every day at lunchtime. So,
Uh-huh.
but I can't join every day. I just can't do that. But I join at least once a week for them. And yeah, and there's a lot of other little Zoom activities I've been getting into over over the year and a half. There's everything went on Zoom.
Right.
So I've really
So
gotten
so that
accustomed.
drumming circle is on Zoom? The
Yeah,
one out of Detroit?
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's a little difficult drumming because, well, you could appreciate, oh, I'm really shadowy, eh? I'm looking at I don't have no fancy lights like you, so I'm a little bit dark
Well,
unless I go right
you
up
you
in
know,
there. Then you can,
I'm the light that shines here
yeah,
today, and you're
yeah.
the darkness.
I'm
And
gonna be the darkness, and you could be
yeah,
the light. Okay,
no, that's I you are here because of the light that you shine in your community and whatnot, and so that's one of the reasons why.
I'm just a quiet sort of, I don't really like to be too much out in, I don't like to grab the attention. I like to just help people.
That's all that we really need to do, isn't it?
Yeah, so it
We don't
is.
need to be
It's
attention
amazing
grabbers.
what.
I'm probably a little bit more of an attention grabber, but
Oh, yeah.
well, yeah, I'm getting down to where I have trouble walking down the street if I got someplace to go and be on time. It's
No,
just
yeah. We all have our gift in the circle that we have to share, right? So your gift is to bring us this these things you do. And you have to be pretty brave to get out there and do those things. I won't mind helping out and being here and
uh-huh.
whatever, making a fool of myself on with you, as long as I have someone to do it with. I don't know about leading it. That's you're doing a great job here.
Thanks, Laura. Hey, I see that the third jewel is back
Oh, is
now.
she?
And
Oh,
so without further ado, let's see if we can fit our third jewel in here. And hi, Casey.
Hi.
Hi, Casey.
So,
Oh,
she's the other one. Oh, I got to remember which way I can turn here. she's she's the third jewel of this conversation, and I'm thinking that the three of us can carry on quite a conversation
oh
and
yeah.
keep it rolling pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
So, you want to say a few words to our listeners?
Me? About what?
Yeah. This is
Um,
your introduction. It's your turn.
um, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Casey. Um, I've been lurking around Regina and Marty and Chloe for a while now. Um, I am also one of the moderators. I help keep this a safe haven for everybody. Um, and it's just been such an enlightening time getting to know all of you and taking like everybody's different experiences and learning from them, taking the wisdom where it applies to me, and finding out that we really are all very unique and we all come from different backgrounds and have different lifestyles and different thought processes, and just the honor to be able to learn from all of you is just amazing, and it's one of the things that keeps me going lately. It really is.
Well, you know, all that being said, I think each one of us brings a lesson to the table, including you. You're giving back by your willingness to talk and to share on Facebook, and the trials and tribulations, and in your Dream into Reality comics, you teach as well as you do, as you learn, and that's what life is in a
Hmm.
lot of respects.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we've got to be willing to put our knowledge out there every day.
Hmm.
Oh my, Casey. I think like you turned us all into superheroes with your comics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
I always
that
feel like
was.
okay, so I look to see if I can identify any of the like the characters. Like, are they secretly some of the people you've met since you've been here?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
wonder about that. I have to go and
Hmm.
look a little more carefully at those characters.
Yep. Some of them I created to um kind of mirror those who like there's a Regina cameo in there,
Oh, oh, cool.
and
Now I'm gonna have to go and find Regina in there. Okay, don't give it
yeah,
away though.
so
We
so
have to find.
there are several.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, cool.
How
Did you
cool is that?
did you know that, Regina?
I knew that there was my logo in one of them, but I didn't realize that I had made the cameo. I need to go
Oh,
back and do
yeah.
some checking it out.
um
Damn, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And so hey, let's. I came up with this topic this morning where you know we were talking about fear, and I wonder sometimes if because I live in this little community, conservative, you've all heard me talk about it,
Yeah.
and frankly, I'm not very afraid. I if I see groups of men, I will avoid them, but every woman in this town does. You know,
Yeah.
um, it's just not safe, and because you because they're men, and so I don't want to trash men, but But I don't really feel threatened. I mean, one of those men that's always in that group. Last night, I was walking the dog around the golf course, and he came up behind me in his golf cart, and I turned around, and he was still 20 yards away, and he shot off way around the side, probably 10 yards away. And when he got even with me, he said, "Hi, how you doing?" And I responded, "I'm fine." And he just kept going, and so was I threatened? Not at all. It was a civil interchange, and I just don't feel threatened in this community. Does everybody love me? No, but not everybody loved me before. And so, I still walked around with my head up and doing the same things that I do now. And so when I say, if I have fear when I go someplace, I feel like I'm putting a shirt on with a target on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the best thing to do is to go without fear. And it reminds me of a reading I found just a few minutes ago too. And so I don't want to do it right this second, but don't let me forget my reading. So anyway, what do you guys think? Am I sending out the wrong message, or I mean, should we all be more fearful, or should we just be aware of our surroundings as we go forth without fear? I always feel like fear is just a figment of my imagination and it shouldn't be there, but I mean, there has to be a certain amount of fear so we just don't walk into a bad situation. Like, I don't go out into bars, especially after like 9 o'clock when people have been drinking for several hours. It's just not a safe place, and it wasn't before.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't drank for 30 years, so
Could there be a healthy fear of things where you say, no, that's not good for me to maybe go to that bar? I mean, I don't drink either. So over the years, I've kind of like, I might on a rare occasion go do a karaoke kind of evening, or maybe with family and friends, not maybe a bar, but around the campfire. It's pretty safe there. But even there, I mean, there's a point when they're drinking and that I just kind of like, I don't really, it's not my thing anymore.
Not
I
for
mean,
me, yeah.
I can be crazy enough without it. I don't really need it. At least that's what my kids always told me. But
well,
no,
yeah, I couldn't agree one more. I'm pretty crazy without it.
And definitely, and it's like, and like you were saying with the healthy fear, that's probably the best way to look at it, because the unhealthy fear is the kind of fear that it seems like it's easier for other people to like hone in on and to sense when you go out and about. But having that healthy fear of, okay, well, this maybe is not the best place for me to be, helps to reduce some of that. It also brings on a little bit of confidence in a way to which that's the other one that people pick up on, like they sense it in your aura.
yeah.
And so like between the unhealthy fear and the confidence with the healthy fear, that's probably a better way to differentiate the difference between them.
I think there's a kind of humility that goes with it too, to to look honestly at the fear that you're feeling, whatever it is, for whatever the reasons are, and have a honest self appraisal of where it's coming from, and if you really,
Mhm.
do you need to expose yourself to that? It's like, okay, uh, Papa, my dad used to say, you put your hand on a hot element, you're going to get burned.
Yeah.
That's like pretty simple, but the analogy kind of fits. So there's a respect for that, those things, I think, that we need to kind of carry with us too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you too, Casey. That's how you carry yourself. Uh, I worked for years surveying on the highways and in little communities where the dogs are free to run. Um, if you're fearful of every dog you see, they know it.
Mhm.
They're much more aggressive if they sense your fear. So I had to overcome my fear to be able to go near them. And not that I don't respect they could harm me, but I behave in a certain way that kind of commands a certain kind of respect from them. I don't let
Yeah.
them run my life anymore, you know?
But that's kind of the way it is when you walk into a room of people. If you walk in there fearfully, they read that. You
Oh,
know, I mean, there
yeah.
is a certain group of scientists and whatnot that are now saying that the space all around us is something, you know, quantum, you know, quantum energy or some damn thing.
Mhm.
And I don't really understand it all, but I do understand that what we project is what is reflected back to us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if we are fearful and we walk out there and show, even if it's just inside, you know, that is reflected back. And then those people in that room are more aggressive towards us because they sense that fear. Confidence to me is everything.
And there's another aspect of it behind all this too. Our own inner fears that I kind of think for for us particularly, and there's probably a lot of people that would relate maybe, but I think about the person that I am, having come out late in life, and probably one of the greatest number one issues I had was fear. A million fears that I couldn't, no name fears. I don't even know where they started and where they ended when I first came out. Today, though, they don't run my life anymore. They don't stop me from going into that room. But it's taken me a long time to whittle away at those fears and stop them from freezing me. In my case, I would freeze. I would literally freeze inside, and it affected how I behaved around anywhere I went. And
Uh-huh.
so I don't know how that kind of fear plays into it. And each of us are probably different. But
But
some people fight and some people run. And I was the one who ran inside
Mhm.
and I put myself in a box and remained as small and timid and shy. And
Mhm.
although I could be openly outgoing, it was very guarded in a way.
Yeah.
It wasn't really free. It was just a show. Just no, you know, what's that saying? So the person who makes the loudest bark is the most fearful.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think something like that.
there's something to be said for that, for sure, you know. Uh, but what was that proverb I heard the other day was the bark is worse than the bite, or a barking dog doesn't bite. You know, I don't believe the fact that a barking dog doesn't bite. Bullshit, they'll get you every time. But
I'm not a dog specialist, so I don't know.
well,
Are
I
you a
mean, my
dog
dog.
whisperer?
I'll tell you what, my dog, he starts barking at you, and you keep moving forward, he's going to bite you.
No,
He,
yeah.
Mhm.
he does not appreciate that, but you know, I mean, I don't want to digress off of this, but you know, I will eventually digress. We all know that, but but you know, it's an interesting concept. I look around and I see people who don't get out very much.
Mhm.
And frankly, I didn't transition because I wanted to stay home. In all my glory, I'm the most comfortable I've ever been in my entire life. And hell, I want to share that. I actually have the capacity to love others now. I have the capacity to be kinder now. And between love and kindness that I didn't have before because of my fear,
Mhm.
that somebody would find out that I was not being authentic. And now that I'm authentic, I want to share my authenticity. And so, let's that's kind of the way I feel about it is let's get out there. Do I go out to every big function that there is in this little town? And I don't. Some of them I'm just uncomfortable with, but it's a lot of it's because I'm been up all day and I don't really want to go out at night. I don't want to be hoity toity or whatnot, can't afford the I can't afford the like auctions and whatnot that are fundraisers. It's not in my realm to be able to afford that.
If I was checking the comments there, Christy talked about if you walk into the room with joy,
Mhm.
you you're received a certain way. Definitely different than if you're fearful. And uh, a
I couldn't
couple of
agree
other
more.
talked about something kind of like what we're both saying is just to get out there and be you, have fun, whatever it is you're into, you
Yeah.
know. And what is someone said something about roller skating? I laughed when I heard that. Who is that? Is that bad? I think. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but yeah, I mean, I remember roller skating as a teenager, and with my present wife when we first met. That was our first date. But they don't have roller skating rinks around here anymore, so I
Mm.
can't do that. That's on my bucket list. I think I want to roller skate again.
I'll pass on the roller skating.
Yeah,
I've been skateboarding. I actually like skateboarding. I've been on a bicycle. Bicycles are my worst enemy. I
oh,
crash into parked cars on bicycles. Um, but I wouldn't mind trying a skateboard again.
yeah. I've never
Uh,
done skateboarding.
Now we're talking about things I fear.
Oh, well,
So yeah, Toby Creates said something, up here. I didn't start transitioning to hot. I did it to feel comfortable in my own skin and to shine in my own
Yes.
inner light.
yes,
Amen.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's it.
And hi, Ash. Good to see you made it. Finally. Finally. Oh my God. Um, yeah, we've been having trouble with internet service down here too. And JJ, what do you got? Toby, I like a quote from Rocket Man. You have to kill the person you are to be the person you want to be. That is what
Yes.
you had to do. Yeah.
Mhm.
I lived
Cool,
in a
cool.
I agree with that. I mean, that's something that's taught about in the culture that I hold so dear. We talk about needing to be reborn. Sometimes you need to die to live.
Mhm.
To be
To
set
start
yourself
again.
free. Yeah, and I don't think that's unusual. And no matter where you come from, we all have crossroads in our lives or turning
Mhm.
points, and either we take one road and we go back where we came from and start the whole mess over again, or we do a new free road. And that's why we
We,
come.
yeah, almost every day we get get to these crossroads that you speak of. I mean, pick your pick your crossroad. You know, I was
Yeah.
talking yesterday about every day I wake up and I've got the crossroads of belief or disbelief, you know, right in front of me. And I can choose to believe or I can choose to not believe. You
Hmm.
know, it doesn't matter what we're believing in or not believing in. But if I choose to believe that I'm going to be fine today, I'm probably going to be fine today. If I choose to not believe I'm going to be okay, my bet is I'm not going to be okay.
You know, another thing, we face, like you say, those crossroads or those little things where we have to make decisions. If we let fear direct us through those things,
Hmm.
I don't seem to get a very good outcome. You know, I always end up not really where I imagined. So I think we need to imagine good things. We need to, what's that, fake
So
it till you make it, or
this is the perfect segue into my reading for the day.
okay, good. Saved by
So,
the reading. I was running out of what I
yeah,
was going to say.
what? No, you want to? I'm sorry.
No, no, I'm glad you're doing the reading. We need one.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So let me see if I can work this, and will just be me during the reading, and it worked.
Hmm.
And as a like snicker and whatnot in the background, because somebody else said something about walking into a room with joy. I think it was Christy.
Hmm.
You know, this even makes more sense as I see the title of this chapter as being making a joyful noise. And it's from this Mirabai Star Wild Mercy and creativity and the arts. And just this opening just really struck me as you know, pertinent to our lives. When you were a child, you knew yourself to be co creator of the universe. But little by little, you forgot who you were. When you were a child, everything was about color. Now you pick black as your automatic font color because that is the coin of the realm. When you were a child, you made up songs. You don't sing much anymore. You lecture or you yell or you keep a safe silence. When you were a child, you traveled from place to place by dancing, and now you cultivate stillness, which is great, but you are forgetting how to move to the music of your soul. You could hardly even hear the all your obligations. Reclaim your wild creativity. I know it's dangerous. When you allow yourself to become a conduit for Shakti, she enters the light and everything becomes illuminated. She fits you like a second skin and you feel everything pervasive bliss, deep ache. She makes you hungry.
Oh no.
Ladies and gents, we are experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh, can you hear me, Casey?
I can hear you. I
Oh,
think they can still hear us. They might still be able to hear us, but I think
I
Regina
don't
kind of
know.
cut out.
Well,
Yep, Regina cut out.
yeah, she put me on her. I wish I could put you in here with me. I don't know if everybody can see me. Uh, that was Casey. They're listening to us, I think. They
Yeah.
hear us.
Yeah, they can still
Okay.
hear us.
Hello,
Okay.
everyone. This is Casey and I. I don't wish Casey could get on here with me, but that's okay. So I think Regina's probably trying to get back on somehow. I don't know how she does that with this program, but I love the comments I've been reading a little bit while I was put in the waiting room for a few minutes. So, is it Zafad? I love what you said about, when you're at a crossroads and you go either into the way you've always dealt with things or you go the free road that takes you to being true to yourself. That's the real thing. That's what fear is always trying to detour us from. Fear says, don't go there, right? But when you walk through your fear and you let yourself be just free who you are,
Mhm.
it's amazing what happens. I
Oh
agree
yeah.
with you. I don't know. Can you hear me, Casey?
Oh, loud and clear.
Oh, what do you think about that?
Definitely. And as far as the crossroads bit goes, it's like a crossroad, they say that every decision can be a crossroad because you have one choice over another, and like a lot of the choices can almost like I'm sorry, like the way I explain things are with metaphors, so
Hmm.
it's crazy. So it's like the choices we make are like building parts of the house,
Oh, yeah.
and
Okay.
based on the choices we make and the individual pieces of the house that we're putting together will determine what the house is going to look like at the end, what our lives are going to look like at the end. And when we make that choice to overcome the fear, that's the difference between picking let's take the three little pigs for example, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The when we overcome our fear, that's the difference between a straw house and a brick house.
Hmm.
By overcoming the fear
I never thought of it that way. That's cool.
and letting it and letting the fear not necessarily control us, but not necessarily control us like they're in the driver's seat, but more like letting it guide us as if it was the navigator and the passenger. So it's here alongside us. We're driving, and the fear is there to advise us. Okay, well, make a left here, go right there. Oh, hey, watch out, there's construction, to help us to better analyze the choices we make. So,
Those are great analogies, and that's kind of like what Zafad shared. He talked about the Rocket Man, Elton John, that song,
mhm,
and it's an analogy, right? But it's true. In that song, I don't know exactly how to refer to it, but he had to kill the person that he was to become the person he could be.
yes,
Yeah, if I understand that song right, and the reference to it here. And I think if we look around for positive reinforcement of ourselves and the world around us, and we recognize those unreasonable fears and walk
mhm,
through them, we find strength we never even knew we had. And
absolutely.
yeah, it's true. I if you'd have told me I would be sitting here trying to hold, like with you, trying to hold the fort for Regina a year ago, even I would have been too scared to even come on this podcast.
Absolutely.
I would have
Absolutely.
been, oh God, I would have been sitting on pins and needle, and I've been freaking out, and I would be sweating bullets. But no, I'm okay. It doesn't. It's okay. I've learned to let my voice speak today
Hmm.
and say what I need to say. I'm curious since Regina's not here, maybe she'll probably look back after, but she said when she talked to me yesterday, um, she thought the three of us would carry love in our hearts with our conversations as a group, the three of us,
Yeah.
and something like we wouldn't let that kind of. I'm not surprised she chose fear. She doesn't really. It isn't exactly that she wants to talk about fear. I think she wants to talk about what is on the other side of fear.
Mm.
You know, I think about
Confidence.
myself where I was a year ago or 2 years ago. It was only 2 years ago that I discovered that I freeze. I literally someone will be barking at me about something and it'll trigger me, and it's a patent response from childhood. Uh, and I do it almost unconsciously. It affects every word I say if I don't acknowledge that I froze in my own head and say, "No, I'm not going to let that direct me anymore. I'm going to just be myself and be free and be happy, and I'm going to say what I need to say, whatever it is." It's always it's just really difficult,
Hmm.
and it's an ingrained response that I it started as a child.
Yeah.
I'm like a 62-year-old adult child. There are things that I didn't grow up dealing with in a good way because of my circumstances, not being able to come out as who I am, not being nurtured and loved the way I need to be. Today I love myself. I've learned to. I I I see that in you. Listen, reading the comments over here, I see amazing comments from people. Everybody's on their own path to finding some kind of healing like that, and it always brings joy to my heart when I see people opening up, flowering.
Hmm.
Like, I think about some of the things I've seen you go through, and it amazes me to see how much, like, where were you a year ago? Well, how long have you been on with Regina?
Um, about a year now. I
What's that?
think it's been, yeah, because I started moderating for Marty,
Oh yeah.
and then I moved over there when her and Regina were doing the Wednesday show. And then when Marty dropped out and Regina decided to take over on Wednesdays, I asked Regina, "Hey, if you need a moderator." So yeah, it's been about a year.
Yeah.
It's really it's just really crazy to think like the time has just flown so quickly.
And when was the first time you came on to actually live to be like this on the camera?
I think it was with Regina.
Yeah, I thought so too. And that's like a kind of coming out in its own.
Yeah.
I've always had a fear of the camera. I remember I took this little 6-month course, job readiness training. I was 22, and one part of that course was they were going to videotape us and then let us view what they recorded. and I was petrified of seeing myself on the camera. I was sure I was going to look like a complete fool and everything, and everybody had nothing but great things to say. So my own fears just stopped me from doing it. Even after that, I'm like, I love to play the guitar and sing and all that. And but don't put me on a stage. I would
Oh,
freeze. Yeah. I've gotten over it more now. But I think we all have fears.
oh
It
yeah.
pushes us in a way. What is it? Entertainers, they always say the fear never goes away. It's always kind of there waiting to kind of tug at you. It's what you do with the fear that's the problem for us.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it,
I
I
actually,
go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say I actually had I've been coming across a lot of um little sayings lately on Facebook that have really like touched me,
Oh yeah.
and I was gonna ask if I could read one at some point, and um
Do you have one to read right now?
yeah, it actually is
Oh.
about fear too, so it totally works with for the whole thing.
Oh yeah, please read it.
Okay. For so long, I played it safe and hid my truth behind a warm smile, a gentle laugh, and a quick wit. I didn't want to risk the world invading my heart and judging me for who I truly was. Truthfully, that's what I thought everyone did, that pretending was the easier path. But after a time of stifling my authenticity, hiding my soul behind placid eyes, and guarding my heart with ferocity, I just got tired. Tired of living a life that wasn't me and never would be. Fear is a hard master, not one not easy to break free from. I was absolutely afraid of what the world would say about who I really was, until one day I realized it didn't matter what anyone else said about me or my life. My happiness was so much more important than their opinion of me. I was done living a lie. It was time to embrace who I am and who I was always meant to be. I don't care what anyone says about how I look, what I say, or how I think. It's my life, and I don't need anyone's approval or acceptance to take control. My happiness isn't dependent on anyone else. I forge my own path through the fires of life and how I swim in the depths of challenge. There's always going to be days when my hair is a mess, my outfit isn't my favorite, and I'm grumpy. But therein lies the beauty of taking back your power. I own it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the bravery I found wasn't the kind that will win medals or change the world, but it has changed my world, and that's what matters most. Standing strong in my own light, turning my face to the sunlight and charging forth is who I am now every day. I know it won't always be easy, it won't ever be painless, but I do know this. I'm worth it, and I deserve to find my own happiness, just the way I want.
Just the way you want, just the way you are. That's like amazing. And I'm reading the comments while you're reading that a little bit. And it seems like everyone sort of feels a lot of the same way. I think we're really not so different. I love that. So you can check off being a storyteller live, or you could be a good voiceover for one of them for a movie. You're a good reader. Did-
Yeah, I'm okay at it. It's
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I love that reading. That was great. I wonder if Regina's going to get on here.
that's a good question.
Can she get on here? Do you know this program that she's using? Is it possible?
Oh, I I've used the program a couple of times myself, but I haven't actually done live streams with it yet.
Oh yeah. Well, when you read that, when you read that again, so you found a post with that in it, right?
Hmm.
There's some amazing things that people write from their hearts like that, and that ranks right up there with the best of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it does. It really resonates with me. God, I remember I was in Gender Journeys and I was stunned there for 8 weeks. On the last week, I brought in a little tote box, and it was like a representation of how I had put myself in the box. My fear
Mm,
kept me in the box. I came out late in life because I couldn't allow myself to come out of that box. I didn't even remember what the fears were anymore, but I still stayed in there because I felt secure in there.
hmm
And it was safe in a way because I didn't have to face anybody. But then again, nobody could really know me either if I didn't share myself with anyone.
exactly.
So I love trying to write stuff. It's therapeutic today when I write my thoughts down and I read back what I wrote. I like to write posts like that too, and I think we all need to be encouraged to just let our voices out like that.
hmm
And was it you or somebody else said here? Um, when we encourage others to do it, we're encouraging ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because we get a part of that.
there's the old saying: you have to give it away to keep it,
hmm
and it's kind of true. Is there any one part in that reading that really stands out to you?
Oof.
It's
That's the whole thing. There's just pushing through and finding myself was one of the biggest ones, and the fear too. It was because I've dealt with the fear thing so many times recently too. Um, and it like it was a
you just got a job like not that long ago, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and
and
I remember seeing some of your posts about that job, and it's like going out as you on a job like that.
mhm,
I think that's what you're just out and being free who you are, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and that's God pushing through those fears to just go out every day.
mhm,
You know, with each step you take, it becomes a lot easier. And you're right. After a while, you start to realize it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Most of the time, they don't really care, anyways. They just
yeah,
want their parcel, or they just want where they're just going about their own lives. It doesn't really matter.
mhm,
And you know, what did Regina say? She was saying like out in her community, there might be it might. I relate to what she said that you know it might have an astigmatism to it as the kind of town it is. Thunder Bay here, where I live, it definitely has a stigmatism. It's like the crime capital of Canada's more deaths per capita.
oh
There's a lot
geez,
of all kinds of things going on in our city where we seem to be at the top, and they're not good things. But I don't feel particularly unsafe where in the circles that I run in the places that I go. There are certain places where I know better than to go there. Uh, Maybe during the day might be okay, but not after hours.
mhm,
And for good reason, because there's gangs, just like there are in every city, right? And there's areas where there's a lot of people that are suffering out there in the world, and they tend to congregate in certain places. And then there's even like, okay, so uh, I have, you know, in the indigenous circle I run with, there I was talking with an elder the other couple of weeks ago, and she goes, they have this bear patrol thing where they go into the places where homeless people live, and the police were trying to stop them from doing this and helping those people because they use fear to say that, oh, you can't go there. They're too dangerous. But when you
Mhm.
go there with a good heart, and those people who see you, they recognize that you're not there to harm them and they tend to trust you.
Mhm.
And she goes there with teenagers and young adults that are predominantly the people that are trying to reach out to the homeless people. It's a bunch of volunteers, and they go in all hours of the night, in the morning, and she walks with them, and she's like in her 70s. And I asked her, have you ever felt fearful, going in those places? And she said, no, they treat me very well when we go and visit them. Their eyes light up. They're happy to see us. So a lot of it has to do with, you know, who's out there and what they're doing. Um, our society creates a lot of fear that really doesn't have to be there. They separate us that way. Fear
Mhm.
separates us.
Yes.
I walk through the fear. I should be able to go and visit you wherever you are, and I should be able to say hi. We
Mhm.
should be able to have a coffee or a tea or something together, and it should be okay. So I just go there and visit you if I ever had the chance, and it would be that way.
Yeah. Everything should be fine.
Yeah, and yet we have these fears. They're always kind of present. It's really up to us. We can choose to let it run our lives, or we can choose to,
Mhm.
just go out, get up every day and go out. And you're finding yourself, I'm sure you're finding, how long have you had this new job?
Um, 2 or 3 months now. It hasn't been that long.
So is that your first time having a job like that when you've been
Mhm.
since
Since being full time, yes.
full time? Yeah. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people in the chat room here that are doing a lot of firsts, going for
Mhm.
their first steps out in public, and they're tentative. Oh my God, I remember just stepping outside the doorway to the back door here to this house I'm living in. There's a deck, getting dressed up just as me, and how good that felt.
Mhm.
To do it freely was a big deal, even in the house. Forget about just going outside.
Oh
But
yeah.
the first step I took, where I opened the door and I went outside, I remember looking with my head right and left to see if the neighbors were out.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
standing there I went outside and I was standing there with the door open just in case one of them came outside because I was
Oh yeah.
scared that they would see me. And today I don't care. I mean, those fears just disappeared one by one with each step I took. I remember getting in a car. Uh, you drive, obviously, but I don't know what the first time you ventured away from the house. Do you have a story about that? I think every one of us has a story
Oh
like that.
geez. I'd have to think on that for a minute, but I'm sure I do. Oh geez. I haven't thought about that in a while. I think the first place I went. No, you know what? No, I do. The first place I went as my true self was probably to my brother's house. So
Oh yeah.
it was, and like the entire drive there, I'm sitting in the car thinking, oh my God, everyone passing by is staring at me. Oh my God, they're staring at me. Oh my God, they're staring at me. And then
But were they really?
I don't really know because part of my mind was also focused on, okay, don't crash this car. You've got your family.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I did the same thing exactly. I remember the first time I got in the car and drove dressed as myself. It was like petrifying. I was worried that every car that pulled up beside me was going to figure out what I was doing and call the cops on me or something.
Mhm.
I think Regina's really lost her internet connection. She was worried about that. She's not even online, like on Messenger or nothing.
Yeah.
I I don't see anything from her, so I'm guessing she's someone else in the chats is saying the same thing. I think um, Christy said something like that. Yeah, Regina lost her connection. Well, we've been on for an hour and we've been carrying
Oh,
along
wow.
hoping she would come back, but I'm not sure she's going to come back.
Yeah, she may not.
Well, didn't this go just gravy, eh? Her
Now the
first,
problem is, hmm,
eh?
now the problem is, like, once we're done, how are we gonna end the stream? Like,
I don't know. The stream might go on until like her internet comes back. I don't know.
oh dear.
Maybe as a moderator, could Christy um, end the stream from behind the scenes? I don't know. How does it work when you're the moderator?
Um, as far as moderating on YouTube, we really only have control over the things that are going on with YouTube. Um, we wouldn't be able to do anything with StreamYard.
Okay.
That's all from Regina's end.
So from StreamYard, you're passing along to
Hmm.
YouTube, so it's a live feed in a YouTube then?
Hmm.
Okay, I get it. So yeah, I don't know. Um, it looks to me like everybody in the chats is having a blast talking with each other. Christy and Christy says, beats me. She doesn't know either. It's been an hour. I don't know. How long should we stay on here? Maybe we should call it quits. I didn't even get to have you side. I don't know how come I got pushed back onto the screen.
Probably because you were the second one in.
Yeah, I guess so, eh?
That seems like the logical.
Yeah. Remove from, oh, okay, see. If you right click on the box, on your little box you see, there's the three dots. I
Mhm.
see a sign that says remove from stream, edit name, edit audio avatar, stop mic or cam. No, I can't. I can't end the stream.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? What would Regina do to end the show? Even if we can't literally end the show, we could um
If we both disconnected, it would
it'll
probably just
probably just
sit
shut
black.
down. Yeah. Okay, well, but we can't do that without saying goodbye to everybody.
Oh no, no, no. We must say goodbye to everybody. The
Okay,
people
well,
are.
I've been talking too much. I'm going to let you talk. Can you see the chats going on?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Christy's
say
still
goodbye to
here.
everybody, and I'll be
Toby.
quiet for a moment.
Let's see. Beeble's already left. JJ's already left. I don't really think there were too many other people who were really chatting. Laswad popped in for a moment, and Jessica was here. Yeah, it was rather like kind of quiet day today.
I guess my cat slipped by. Someone said they saw my cat.
Oh, Ash was here too. Ash of Yahoo.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say ta-ta to everyone in chats. Christy, Toby, um, Zafad, JJ. It's been wonderful seeing you all and reading your chats. And for our first time for the three of us, I think we did okay, I think.
Yeah, we did okay.
Hopefully the internet will be working next time we do this again. I'm kind of like doing the three of us together like this.
Yeah, definitely. It
Did you
definitely.
enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, me
absolutely.
too.
Because
So
because and like I understand like the problem Regina was having. It might have also been some of like what Marty was going through. Then she's got extra, but like the just like having to come up with everything for the entire stream by yourself can
it's a
be
lot to ask
overwhelming.
for. Yeah. And
But now
she does
having
a good job of it, but still.
mhm,
This
but
way,
having the two of us here with her to bounce ideas back and forth keeps things going
exactly.
and keeps her. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Casey, you take care, dear.
you too.
Ta-ta to Regina. Ta-ta to everybody that still might be there in the chats. And I'm going to sign off and wish you all the great best of the day to you. Love you all. And we'll talk to you again, I guess.
Yeah. And now since she's gone, it's me. Yeah, again, thanks for taking the time to hang out with us for a bit. We will see what happens as far as next week goes. I'll I've hopefully I'll hear back from Regina. Someone will, and we will be able to hopefully get the internet issue resolved and can come back for more fun next week. Until then, ta ta now.